What's up YouTube? I'm back again with another video. Today I wanted to do a story time video and talk to you guys a little bit about my first time, such as sex. This is not a topic that I usually like talking about, and sorry if I'm messing with my hair. I just woke up about half an hour ago and my hair is still like all gross and stuff, so I just put on a hat for second day hair. So I just wanted to do a little story time about my first time and what I experienced, just give you a little insight about myself and things I've done. So when my first time was a really horrible time. I don't really like talking about it with people, or I don't really like telling others, or like if I get into a relationship, I don't really like talking about my past, because some way or another they'll bring it up and just make it seem like it was all my fault, and they would just tell me that I'm a slut or I'm disgusting, and that's not okay with me. How it all happened, it was around middle school going into high school. I was about 14 or 15. And I had met this guy, a mutual friend of someone in middle school. He was a little bit older. He was maybe about 16. And I had met him through a mutual friend, and my mutual friend gave me his number, and I talked to him, and I thought things were going amazing. Little did I know that I was being used and manipulated, and I was just a stupid, naive, I can't even fucking talk, naive 14 or 15-year-old. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't understand the situation. So with that being said, don't blame me, don't say she's a hoe or she's a slut, just bear with me, guys. Like I said, I didn't know what was going on. I thought this was going to turn out into a relationship, so I continued to talk to this guy. Let's just call this guy B. That's what his name started with. B was very charming. He had a smooth talking, like the way he talked to me was very like romantic, and like he said things that would make me feel good about myself, and thought that romantic things were going to happen and this was going to turn into a relationship. So I had hung out with him one time, and it was with that mutual friend. We went dirt biking. I didn't do shit. I just stood there watching them go dirt biking, which was really awkward and really weird. Also, I felt uncomfortable. I was in my like goth and emo phase, and I wore all black and these weird things. I don't even know if this guy liked me or not, or just wanted to use me. I don't even know what he saw in me, but it was just a really awkward time. And getting down to after that week of hanging out with this guy, and then that's when it all happened, when we like hung out together one-on-one. He had picked me up because obviously I didn't have a car. He had a car because he was 16. He had this red little truck that was I believe it was a Standard, because I remember us going forward and going back, and I really hated the ride. It was about maybe 10-20 minutes from my house. He had picked me up. He took me to his house, his parents' house, which was kind of like a private property. I guess they were rich or something. He had all these nice things. He had like 2 dogs, and it was at nighttime when he brought me to his house. I guess he didn't want his parents to know that I was there, which was kind of weird. I think I met his brother or his friend, I'm not sure who it was. But yeah, so then we went up to his room. He had a bunk bed for some reason, I don't even know why, and he had all these skateboards. He had like all this nice things, and he was like the most perfect person that I thought in my head was a perfect person, because he was like, he had muscles, he was fit, he was like super gorgeous. I'm talking emo, or not emo, like skateboard guy, like hair in the face, wearing like snapbacks all the fucking time. And that's what I was into, and that's what I really liked. I didn't really know at the time what his intentions were, but he got me on his bed and we started kissing, and then one thing led to another. We used a condom and everything, so there wasn't a worry about pregnancy, or there wasn't a worry about STDs or anything like that, because we used a condom. And it was really gross because he took it off and he threw it somewhere in his room, and I was like, shouldn't you throw that in the trash, because that's really gross. Yeah, I slept over at his house. My mom didn't even know where I was. I don't even know if she knew that I was gone, or that I had disappeared, or where I had gone. And it felt really weird. I remember not sleeping that night, and I couldn't fall asleep at all. I just kept thinking about what had happened and about what my sister would think about me. And then I remember it just being like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then I didn't sleep at all. I woke up and I realized that it was morning, and I had this stupid little flip phone. It was the Samsung. It was like the little keyboard one. It was such a stupid phone, and I had so many ringtones on it. And I was sleeping I was like laying right next to him, and he was asleep. He was snoring, by the way. I was laying next to him, and I wanted for him to wake up so that I could go home. He could take me home, because I had no way of getting back home. I had no money. I just had my phone. So I specifically remember going into my phone and playing a ringtone in his ear just for him to wake up. And I remember it being Owl City. It was Fireflies. And I remember putting it by his ear, trying to wake him up, and I tried like pushing him and trying to move him so that he could wake up. And it took him about like 10-15 minutes to wake up and finally realize that I was awake. And then I was like, hey, do you think you could take me home? And then I guess he was like, yeah. And then the morning was really awkward because all of his friends came over. And then he was like, yeah, I'll be back. I just gotta take her home. And it was really awkward. And I thought, like, when I got home, I was like the most excited person in the world. And I was just like, he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. And then a few weeks later, going into it, one of my mutual friends were just told me that he had a girlfriend. And I remember who she was. She had curly hair, and I just compared myself to her, and I just felt really insecure and thought that I'm not good enough for this person, that they just had to use me. And this was my first time having sex, and I experienced it as them using me. And that's what I've experienced on my way to the journey that I am right now. I compared myself so much. Basically, the way that I look right now is because I based myself on other girls and what guys have seen and what they like. So I just put myself up to that standard and was like, maybe I should change everything about myself. I was not this person back then. I did not look like this. I did not take the time for my makeup or hair. And I mean, now I feel comfortable. I feel amazing. I love myself. I love who I am, and I love where I'm at right now. It's just that back then was this different story, and I did not like myself at all, and I just hated every moment of my middle school and high school years. It was just a whole big path of insecurity, and I don't know. I just did not like that experience at all. And if you are 14, 15, 13, any of those ages up to, because I'm 20 right now, I've experienced a lot and I've experienced everything. So if you are at that age where you're thinking about having sex, stop, wait a second, think about it. And if the decision makes you feel awkward, if the decision makes you question it or think twice about it, don't do it. Just don't do it. At that time, I would have told my 14, 15-year-old self to stop and don't do it, just because I wanted to save myself for someone special. But, you know, those things don't happen. It all happens all at once, and you don't realize what's going on, and things happen. So, I mean, I can't change the past, but I mean, I can change my future and what I'm doing right now. Part of me is just like, I'm glad it happened, and then part of me is glad I'm like, no, I hated that that happened, because in the end, I got in trouble. My sister got mad at me. She wrote me a letter, and we were just writing letters back and forth to each other because she would not talk to me. She would only talk to me in writing, so that was a really bad experience. But she got over it, and she said, hey, you're growing up. You need to learn things on your own, and as I have. It was a bad experience and it was a good experience. It was a good learning experience, but it was a bad experience altogether. I just wish that I would have waited, and I wish that this person wouldn't have used me, and if this person is watching my video, fuck you, asshole. All in all, it was a good experience, a good learning experience, and I wouldn't be here where I am today if none of those things in my past had happened. So I'm really glad that things in my past had happened, just so I can move forward and do better with my life. That was my first time experience story time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like down below. Subscribe, it helps me out a ton. You don't realize how much it helps. But if you did like this video, please give me a like, comment down below anything you would like to comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you guys soon. Oh yeah, and I'm starting this new thing where I'm going to promote my social media handles. So if you want to, go follow me on Instagram. It's k.sandra20. My Twitter is Hello Beauty. The E is a 3 and the O is a 0. Why am I saying all that backwards? Facebook is Hello Beauty as well. And Snapchat is BeautyK62. So if you want to follow me on my social media handles, go ahead and follow me on there. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Bye guys.